Do you believe in miracles? We got Fizzle in the house. Fizzle, what's good, man? Fizzle, glad to have you here.
Let's go. This the South Harmon podcast. Glad you here today. Hit that Patreon link if you here to stay. Dynasty best ball, that's my favorite way. 40 chess trade show. Let's make a trade today or check the AMA. You know Adam at the ATM. Mike always in the building. He gon' stay with him. They gon' start every show off with their own trade. Fantasy's a big ocean. They made their own wave. Make sure you tapping in Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesday night, Saturday morning, ain't no better way. Hit that notification bell when the news break. Go subscribe right now, don't get the news late. Destination Devi, that's the team. Dynasty Football, man, that's my favorite thing. I remember Biggie said it was all a dream. Now people watching on their phones and computer screens. Welcome to the team. Let's start the show.
Let's get it.
Live from the casting couch? What's up?
It's back, man. The casting couch. Back to popular demand. People have been clamoring for Mike on the casting couch, man. It's real. It's back.
Look,
We're good to go.
Myself. Oh, God.
Is that you?
You can tell I ate pizza today.
He did. He ate some pizza today.
What's up, everybody?
What's good?
Live AMA coming from Adam's crib on the casting couch. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope the audio works.
We're good,
If
man.
it doesn't, yell at us. Just yell at us.
Just yell. Yeah, let us know. Let us know that the audio's all messed up.
I'll let you read the chat. I'm not going to keep turning my head.
Oh, yeah. All right. You want me to, I'll tell you what, I'll take the chat over here for you, buddy. I can accommodate you.
Oh, look at that.
Don't mess with this. What's going on, everyone? We got Mike in the building. We have little, casting couch action. We're hanging out in person, man. In person for the expo. What's your take on tomorrow, man? Tomorrow starts festivities for us.
The unofficial start, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or official start? I don't know how we want to do it. Look at a lot of people coming in. It's just been you and me all day today. Oh, we stayed up 5 in the fucking morning today, man. 5 in the morning we were up. We recorded one episode and then we just sat around shooting the shit. And all of a sudden I look at my phone and I go, oh, man, it's 5 a.m.? We should probably go to bed.
5 a.m., man.
We should probably go to bed. My ass slept till noon. I feel like I'm back in college. We ain't got to get up.
Kelly asked, "Did you get Mike? Is he here? Is he alive? Did you leave him?
He's sleeping at the Cleveland airport right now.
Basically, the Motel 6 here. I also like the brownie, teabagging Mike's head here.
It's right.
I love what I'm seeing.
Is that too provocative?
Dynasty Tradesman 5 wants to know if that's the actual high school we're staying at in the thumbnail. The only people that will know is the people that go. That's the only. That's the way that you can have the question answered.
You got a show to know.
Got a show to know.
I love it. Yes. I'm excited. So tomorrow we get to hop in that place. I don't know what time we're going over, but we'll figure it out all later. We got plenty of time. We'll
get over there pretty early. We got to get the first things first though. The AMA.
The AMA.
Yeah, man.
The AMA.
Let's see what we got here, questions wise.
We get anything?
Well, we got Adam. What are you sipping on today?
Ooh.
I'll tell you what. I'll shout out. Haven't drank a lot of it because I want to make sure I save some for when he's here. But Corey had somebody, his guy who does blacksmith. This is a honey bourbon. It also says enjoy by Russ in the corner here. How'd you feel about this? You're not a bourbon guy. What'd you think of it?
I haven't had it yet. So.
Oh, you didn't try it?
No, I haven't tried it yet. I might sip on a little bit later. All right, I got to be coherent for this AMA, right? You don't want to be sloppy drunk.
They want you. Yes, they do.
On the casting couch, right? I got to perform.
They want you.
And then I get sloppy drunk.
They want him sloppy drunk. But yeah, we're sipping on right now currently Michter's bourbon. Actually, it's a rye. So.
Y'all know me. Svedka, you could probably see it right there. Yep. Bright yellow vodka.
See, Fizzle says, watch accepted tonight to get ready for the shit school of your coming. Let's go.
My man. Oh, yeah, you got a pregame with the movie.
Fizzle, when are you getting in? What day are you getting in?
Oh,
Trying to get a...
I can't wait. Adam, how was that bear hug last night? at the airport.
He
Was it like the Top Gun song? The Take My Breath Away. Felt like we had a moment.
I'll tell you what, had he not prepped me, he probably, snatches it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I was prepped, but it was pretty bear huggy, let's call it.
I spent a lot of time working out beforehand.
Did you?
Yeah, not actually like doing anything for the physique, but I just grab something and I just squeeze over and over again. So I was working on it.
All right. We got to start with this, Mike, for an actual question. I just see the start. A bit of a weird question. How do y'all get over making shit trades, like trading for Zach Wilson last year, JT before all this, etc.? Well,
it is what it is.
I mean, Mike, you're on the Fizzle video making a Zach Wilson trade, so why don't we start with you?
Oh, wow. What a kick in the balls. It's all part of the process thing, just in general. If you guys watch any of our trade shows and we kind of talk about it over and over, you don't have to win every trade, and you'll make some doozies. But you'll also, if you go back and look, we were randomly, speaking of this, just discussing just a little bit ago upstairs. I was looking through some DMs to find something else, and I'm like, oh, can you believe this trade that I made? Like, there are times where you absolutely just body bag somebody, and you may not know it at the time, but for about everyone that you body bag somebody, you probably make one that you're the one who's getting body bagged. But just generally, if you're staying 60% in your trades, like winning them or making progress, you're doing fine. You don't have to really worry about it. We all make bad deals. It's just, when you make a bad deal, why did you make the bad deal? Was there something in your thinking or your process that led you to making that bad deal? And then how do you correct it going forward? So, like the Zach Wilson thing, that one's tougher for me, Adam, because and the Jonathan Taylor thing is also going to be one, because these are things that we'd never seen, right? These are one-offs. If we're talking about like outliers, these are the outlier kind of situations, right? The way the running back market is now and the way the confluence of events are going with the running back market leads us to the JT thing. The Zach Wilson, I mean, how many times have you seen the number 2 overall pick make it through, 2 years, and then, hey, we're bringing in somebody else, and by the way, we're going to keep you on the team. We're not trading you somewhere else, trying to get any draft capital back or anything like that. So very interesting situation with that. But it's all part of the game we play. It's kind of like if you're a bettor, right? Like sometimes you get those bad beats, but sometimes you also sneak one in underneath the wire, right? Like, oh, man, I got the over, but it ain't going to hit. And then somebody hits like a miracle, worthless half-court shot, and you go, I hit the over. Let's go.
Yeah.
So you take some and you win some, you lose some. But Zach Wilson, JT, those are also kind of outlier ones. But the biggest thing is just seeing if you can find a flaw in your thinking, a flaw in your ranking. So for me, last year was the Antonio Gibson thing. That was a flaw in my process, investing in that range of running back for a late first. So something that you move on, and this year you correct it. And I go, I'm not doing it again this year. I'm not investing in a late first and not a Antonio Gibson, but a J.K. Dobbins, a Cam Akers, like
Same
that range
idea.
of running back, right? And that's how you get better and move forward.
Yeah, I think like with the trade too, I think you have to look at the trade. You're asking how do you get over making shit trades? Well, you're not going to stop making trades where you lose, right? So for me, it's okay. Let's take a look at it. I think the biggest thing people will actually miss on is like they don't want to look at them. They don't want to see them. They don't want to see them on the trade show. They don't want to admit it happened. Like we're going to erase it from the memory books. Like basically it's like if you were drunk and you're out here firing, crazy DMs, and the next day you're like, I just delete all these, like they didn't happen. Right. That's not how it works. They happened. Yeah. So why did you make the trade? Assess the trade. So let's talk Zach Wilson for a second. Let's say a year or two ago when you made this trade, like how you really probably got massively burned is you're going to tear down off a QB, and you're looking and you got Zach Wilson has a year or two of safe security, number 2 pick.
Correct.
And you pick up a first. Well, there you have to understand that like Zach Wilson is also not a secure asset. So as his price continues to dip down, you probably don't want to sell. But in that scenario, there's not much you can do other than you just missed the player that went along with the plus, right? You're going to miss players. We're all going to miss players. But if you trade 1 for 1 and you're like, man, I traded Zach Wilson and it was Daniel Jones or Jared Goff, and there was probably a time where you thought you won that deal, the learning lesson there for me is like you swung for upside, but you didn't realize what the floor could be because
Yeah.
they both had actually a floor that we all didn't realize. So there's a lot of different ways the trade could go down on a scenario like that with Wilson. So for me, it's actually I use my bad trades and how I get over them is the trades I win. We already know your team's better. You get to gloat about it. I want the losing trades more so because it makes me sit down and refine my process. It makes me think about how did I fuck up and how do I fix it? And if you don't do that, if you don't keep yourself honest, you're going to be even worse off because you just don't assess your losing trades, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. You learn more from your losses than you do from your wins.
Unfortunately, it's the way it is, but that's how you make more winning trades later is to admit what happened and how do I fix it, man.
That's how you end up on the casting couch.
That is how you end up on the casting couch. Geist, pretty sure that I have to remember how to do this. I need to drag the comment over so that I don't lose that. That stays up. That comment's staying up. I told you, Mike. You don't want to listen. So you know what I do is I have to. The people are clamoring, man. I've been telling people we want piss on the floor, drunk Mike. We just went and met Mike's cousin for dinner, and Mike decided to tell this story, and I had a feeling, we relived it, and they want him back.
They want it back, huh?
I mean, he just blew up the bathroom, something fierce before the show. So why not piss on it?
My bad. I figured, you got to get a little pregame poop, right? Pregame poop out before the AMA, and I thought it was just going to be a little, ho hum, tiny thing, and it turned into much more. Adam's over here.
My daughter may not be able to sleep.
On a plus note, since this is the basement, it all kind of rolled downhill.
Yeah, just now we do AMA in it.
Shit air is heavier than normal air, apparently.
Good God.
Yeah, it was rank. Pretty bad.
Wait, I'm trying to get Shane Joe. What's the first part of this question? Oh, here we go. I am in Kelsey negotiations right now. What are we paying in 1.5 tight end premium? He wants Stroud, Fant, and a second for Kelsey and Russ. Mike?
Stroud's the most valuable piece in that trade.
In Dynasty value.
Dynasty value. Most secure. Kelsey's going to be the biggest difference maker, WoRP-wise. Yeah. Pretty confident.
Barring health and an outrageous cliff out of nowhere, yes.
I don't think I'm doing Fant in the second. Like I tell him it's Stroud for Kelsey.
He wants... Well, does he want Stroud? Does he want Stroud back? Like, are you going to send away your Stroud, Fant in a second, and you're getting Kelsey and Russ?
I don't really want to take, Russ back, though. I guess you could.
Why not? You still stay in the quarterback range, and I don't care what build you have. You should be sending Fant in a second for Kelsey.
Oh, easily.
So, obviously the drop-off from Stroud to Russ is a lot, but if you're looking to win, I'm willing to lose out on what the upside of him is and just have the quarterback back.
I guess.
If you're getting the Kelsey and Russ side, let me ask you this, Mike. Would you take that Stroud side if you were rebuilding?
You can get off Kelsey and Russ.
Yeah.
You get to Stroud Fant in a second. I think so. It gets me into a young quarterback who's stable. I know we just talked about the Zach
Wilson. Yeah.
But come on. One off.
I mean, the only thing for me is Kelsey selling him is so hard. And then my personal opinion is I feel like Russ is devalued right now. So it feels like if I was rebuilding, I think I'm selling these guys a little at the wrong time still.
I would be over the moon to be able to sell my Kelsey on a rebuilder for Stroud.
Oh, of course.
Right.
But you're also losing.
Fant in the second for Russ feels light.
Yes, that's my point.
Yes.
I think I like it for the Kelsey and Russ side better, honestly.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I think I can now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more. Kelsey and Russ.
I think so. What do you think?
If you're competing, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you haven't pushed in your first, I'm okay pushing in a second, though.
Matt says my 40% trade losses are whiskey. Well, Matt, I got a whole bar for you here, buddy. Let's get there. Let's get you there.
That just tells how many trades you have then.
Yeah.
But that's just 40% of the losses.
Well, don't let me drink.
Oh, no.
Don't let me drink all that, buddy. We're gonna have a lot of drinking this weekend.
If anybody's gonna piss on your floor, it's gonna be you.
Yeah, except for. It can happen. I don't think I've ever done it yet.
I'm going out to the driveway if I gotta pee.
Oh my God, All right, hey guys, I've hoarded
Yes.
with my first 4 picks: Mahomes, A-Rich, Kyler, and Dimes. I'm about to be on the clock, and Geno, Pickett, and Love are available. Do I take a 5th? It's a good question. I don't like it in the 5th, honestly, man.
Nope, I'm good. Not in the 5th.
I think,
First 4 are great, though.
yeah, so I think, though,
You got good value on all 4 of those guys.
we talked about this before, and it's like, all right, you already leaned into the first 4, so just by default, I'm wanting to just lean in here, but this is where I think you have to kind of check yourself and gauge a few things. One, we don't have here. What does the quarterback distribution look like to all the teams?
Mm-hmm.
Like the more that I'm seeing teams fade, if I'm seeing a lot of I can force you buyers,
Yeah.
I mean, also, but one thing to keep in mind too is at this point, sometimes people drafting 0 are doing it with intent.
Yes.
So just monitor that. And then the second thing would be look at startup values. And I can pull it up. We can pull up the South Harmon startup values. But I can tell you right now, if Love, Pickett, and Geno are going anywhere near the 5th or the 6th, people are wrong because it's too high. So I think that's the other thing is if it's too far out of the range of startup value, I'm not doing it because there I can still secure like a actual 5th round startup player, you know? So that's where I think I put the brakes on.
If it was best ball, I'd be more interested. A lot more interested because I can leverage that a little bit harder.
Right.
Lineup becomes a little bit harder in Superflex to leverage those type of quarterbacks. So.
Like, and we talk about, okay, so Geno, I think if there's a chance Geno, as much as I don't like to admit it on air with Koopa, you know, I think there's a possibility Geno still is a top 12 quarterback in points per game or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But what's his trade market? The whole idea of what you're doing is to eventually flip. Like
Correct.
His trade market's, it was asked last year.
Out of all those, what Pickett or Love would have the highest potential trade value.
And realistically, you talk about boom, Pickett's going to have to do a lot this year to prove people last year was a fraudulent year for him. Love, for whatever reason, and it's because people haven't seen him fail yet, I think has the biggest chance to like return crazy value. Like, or let's say early on, 3 of the 4 weeks, he looks like semi-competent or ahead of that.
Hey,
Someone might freak out, you know?
They're all 7th rounders.
There you go.
Basically.
So they're
Geno's
2.
6-12.
You're reaching 2 rounds.
Yeah, pass.
Assuming this is a 12 team. So no. And the thing is, I think what you have to realize too, the first 4 that you take, so you got Mahomes, A-Rich, Kyler, and Dimes. Kyler's market's depressed, but those are 4 great quarterbacks to have. You don't have to force this anymore because you have assets you can eventually sell for a lot. Go ahead and get the best. I would go BPA.
Yep. And probably wide receiver.
Tip, unless there's like a running back hanging around that just should not be there.
Correct.
I'm going probably receiver. I'm not messing with these tight ends at this range typically.
Be wide receiver just for the
Value insulation.
Yeah, value security, a younger wide receiver.
Appreciate it. Dynasty Trades in 5. Clay, Shane, Scott, everybody. Appreciate you guys.
Can't
man.
wait to see those guys tomorrow, man.
All staying at the shit B&B. It's gonna be fun, man. I've been waiting for this.
Can't wait for it. I'm ready.
All right, with the wide receiver core like Lamb, Hill, Cup, London's Diggs, Addison, Devontae Smith, and a 10-team PPR start 11. I was like, damn, Fizzly, you're flexing. And then I read the 10-team. But what do you do with Pittman? Been throwing him everywhere, but not getting back what I think I should. I think the truth is, Fizzle, in a 10-team league, Pittman's market's gonna suck.
This is something too. When you're especially deep, Lamb, Hill, Cup, Diggs, kind of whatever order you want to put those guys in, and then the younger guys, Smitty first, then London, Pittman, Addison, however you want to rank them.
Right.
There's going to be people all over the place that don't like this player for X reasons.
Big.
Like you want to move a wide receiver because you have an abundance of them, but we always want to shop the guy that seems like nobody else wants.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do then is you put the guy on that you really don't want to sell, and you make that available and see what they'll pay for that guy. And you go, I'm fine. I already had Pittman, so I must have liked him at one point. Like maybe I move off a Tyreek or I move off a Diggs or, if I feel like those are the win now piece, maybe I'm moving off a Devontae Smith instead of a Michael Pittman. And you're getting more of that value return because people are more interested in a Devontae Smith than they are Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
And in reality here, if you're rocking Lamb, Hill, Cup, Diggs, right? There's 4 guys. I don't know how many starters he's started.
So start 11. So for me, Mike, when I look at this, I think, all right. So
the rest of the guys really become depth pieces, right?
I think that's what I would, in a perfect world here, I think you got to be a little, like, don't get me wrong, anyone's available. But in 10-team, I'm already thinking heavier on the studs and duds thing, right?
Yes.
Like I want to have the studs. So in a perfect world, I'm basically with this team. I'm Lamb, Hill, Cup, Diggs don't leave, and I know that I'm with Dynasty. There's age issues on all those guys, but I almost don't care. I'm putting out there London, Addison, Pittman for sure, and then maybe Devontae Smith. And what I'm doing is I'm seeing maybe they'll pay for London.
Yeah,
Like but those are the guys I think that in the 10 team they have dynasty value, but don't necessarily give me the points per game what's going to matter or the WoRP. So I think here's where that's what I would try to do. You don't just force though. Like Pittman right now has Anthony Richardson. A lot of people love him in fantasy, but don't love what he's going to do for the receivers. So we don't know either. So it might just be a bad time to sell for Pittman. And the way that you test it is, try receivers in similar ranges and see what that looks like in the market.
Yeah. It's always the thing. We always want to sell the guy the least that we like, right? This is like ancillary. Well, everybody else knows it's ancillary too. Like,
and in 10 team especially, that's what people want to shop for least.
Yes.
So I 100% agree with me, Mike. Appreciate it, Marlon. Let's see. Yes. Was there a big bear hug? There was, man. He tried to suck the life out of me. It's like you realize if you win here that you're gonna be solo on the expo trip,
Yeah. Well, I just wanted you to feel it. Maybe be black and blue or
just
a little bruised up.
It happened. Yeah, I got a bruise. The sternum is not in a great spot. It's gonna definitely be a shit show. When Mike mentioned that this pod won't last forever, and he will enjoy the expo a lot this year, I hope that wasn't foreshadowing anything.
Yeah. I'll go ahead. I'll say it. I'll let everybody know. We're the 4D podcast on Destination Devi on Friday will be the last one we do there. It just became time for all of us to move on, right? We grew too much. Not too much, but I want to keep my kids around forever, but when they turn 18, time for you to get the hell out of the house, right?
Yeah, man.
I would kick you out. I'm turning your room into a hot tub.
Mike did too much bear hugging.
Right. So
his presence was no longer as fun.
So we got so much going on here with the WoRP tool, with the website, with you guys who tap in and support us to death. So just for the benefit of both parties, right? Like Ray has a fantastic thing going on over there, and he needs people who can be all in, right, with Destination Devi. And while it's always going to be home in our start, we just time for us to move on. We got too much going on here where we just can't give full effort over there anymore. It'd be unfair to everyone who rocks with us. So we are going to be independent, and we will still be doing 4D. It'll just be here on this network. And Adam, break them off. It's going to be live, ain't it?
Live, man. We're going to have it's 4D's not going to change. We're still going to do 4D the same way. We'll put it on our podcast feed.
Yep.
Nothing's really different. It's not something that is a bad thing per se.
Nope.
I mean, Ray's basically like, listen, I had the same thing going with Matt Kelly. I understand. It's all in good terms. So we just won't be doing our podcast over on the Destination Devi side.
It's bittersweet.
And for everyone that's going to continue to rock with us, one of the things we're doing, patrons only are going to have the ability to watch the stream live a day early or 2 days early whenever we record it. You'll be the only ones. It's like a patron-only feature. Yeah. And then everybody else will catch it. You'll also have the video feed, too, so you can watch the video live when we do it. And you can also wait till the audio comes out or video on Friday when we drop it.
Yeah, just a little extra bonus for the patrons who are in there and supporting us, the diehards. So that'll be a little bit extra, but it will be on audio form still. It'll still be the same 4D you know and love, just on our network. But you'll also be able to watch it on video, or if you're a patron, watch it live.
Yeah, man. So, 4D chess, man. 4D chess is staying around, but just we'll be switching where you consume it to get to that. All right. So let's see. Is that all?
Speak of the devil, man.
Oh man. You know what's funny, Gregory? So Mike, before he leaves, he hits me up. He's like, "Listen, man, I don't ask for a lot. I'm a simple girl. I like what I like, but
I'm basic.
You don't have to get me nothing. Just one thing I do ask is, can you get me this Svedka Citron? And this is all I've been drinking lately. You know how I like these sparkling ice lemons. I'm like, all right, man, Svedka, I got you. So my wife, she's grocery shopping yesterday, and she texts me, they don't have this vodka Citron. I'm like, really?
It's in the basic section.
I'm like, wait.
It's in the back.
You're telling me this $12 bottle's gone. Like, they don't have any in stock.
Oh, no.
Okay, so I'm like, I'll grab some on the way home. I get to a liquor store, and I'm like, oh, y'all are out too. Okay, well, I tell Mike, and he's like, oh, don't worry about it and all this. You know me, I can't. I'll call around. He wants it.
Mr.
I find a place that had 2 of them. Jetted over there, got it right before the deadline. 9 o'clock, liquor store closed in Ohio. Got it about 8:59. So, he's been drinking it too. We were up till 5 o'clock last night.
I'm fancy.
He's drinking in it. Well, he's not even drinking in a shit glass, but we'll get him there.
I get there, man. I'll start doing it straight here. After the AMA. I told you. I said though, if anyone's gonna pee on your floor tonight, it's gonna be you, not me.
Well,
I'm not fighting your wife. Your wife will take me down.
That's true, but you just. It won't be. If it's anyone, it'll be me. That means he's gonna blame me for what he does. Adam, live trade accept and BB resurrection warrant.
I bet this is horrible.
Dun, dun, dun. This is gonna be awful.
Every time that he says this on the AMA, and it's usually directed at me, it's usually a bad trade.
Let's see.
I bet the man is desperate to get off A-Rich.
Let's see what we got here.
You just tell me if I'm right. I bet it involves Anthony Richardson in some form or capacity.
Hold on. Do I have this?
Come on.
Trying to find it. Stand by.
Best
ball one.
Resurrection.
Trade. Let's see what we got here. Trade.
Come on, tell me I'm right.
All right, so this is what we're looking at.
Does it say Anthony Richardson?
He's trying to send me Cup. No. He's trying to send me Cup, Pickens, and a 24-second for...
Cup, Pickens, a 24-second.
For DeAndre Swift. T. Higgins, and a 25-second. I think I'm good. So Higgins and Cup, where are you at?
I take T.
Right. So that's he gets T. Pickens and Swift, where are you at?
I might take GP.
Would you?
Yeah,
okay, but
I like Swift too, but I might take GP there.
I think I would probably lean Swift over Pickens still. But
really?
Even if you say it's close, let's say it's close enough there. Yeah. Then what do we have? A couple second swaps.
Yeah.
Why do I want this?
Yeah, I get you.
So all right, Alex. Thanks for the letting me know I need to decline that. Appreciate you.
Make him. You get the second. He don't get. I'll
counter you back. What I need you to do is work for it a little more if you want to counter.
Listen, I got to sit on the
especially when you're trying to go check this trade out. Like, yeah.
Man, I'm sitting on the casting couch. I can't get deals done with Adam. You think you could just pop in here on an AMA and get it done? Come on, Alex.
Come on, man. You've been around long enough to know. Oh, here we go. This is it's funny, man. Joke asked this question, Mike. I was like last night when you get in, I was like, do you want to do a kind of like a pastime, story time to the now in the future? But we could talk for briefly here. Say maybe we don't want to take too much.
So Adam and I met through Destination Debbie, Heisman Discord.
It's actually really relevant question given we just said we're going to ours only.
Heisman chat, Destination Debbie. That's where we met, and kind of fortuitous. We got Eric on the network, and if you listen to America's Game, I kind of gave Eric shit about when we first met in Heisman, not me and Adam, but when I first joined. Like, if you know me and my personality, I don't give a shit. I'll argue with anybody about anything, right? Like, if I don't think you're right, I'd let you know it.
How you raise your kids, anything.
Me and Eric would butt heads, and then eventually, there'd be like people in there who'd like go on Eric's side, right? And it felt like I'm fighting like 5 different people in this chat at the same time. And Adam just kind of messaged me, and he's like, I don't think you're all that crazy. Like, I kind of agree with you. So that's how we met and started talking.
Basically, Mike was Jon Snow in it, and then then there was 2.
Then there was my wolf pack grew to 2.
Yeah, and then we were kind of getting called the Step Brothers. We're just out here trying to make a mess and fun, and it was a good time. Those days they don't feel that long ago, man. It was fun.
That's how we kind of hit it off, and then it just grew from there. We'd message back and forth and just talk ball, dynasty strategy.
Mike was in my DMs all the time. I was in his. So like just asking about questions, trades, all the stuff. We basically had AMA with each other and DMs. Yeah. One day we're kind of like, instead of breaking our thumbs, why don't we just like
put it on podcast.
do it on a VC essentially and call it a podcast where we see what happens.
Exactly.
That's basically what it was. We hop on.
It was horrible.
Talk for 2 hours. There was a lot of horrible stuff in there. It was kind of probably mildly funny, but it wasn't something that you're like, oh man, I gotta listen to this. But you also couldn't. There was 30 or 40 people that
tops,
unless you wanted to pay $1 for people that didn't actually pod
tops, and I think most of them were friends and family.
Yeah, and we didn't really hit. You have to do like create a stream and make a Spotify or whatever for RSS, and we're like, you know what? Why don't we just make a Patreon and charge as low as we can, $1,
the least amount possible,
because it was just easier to do it that way and incorporate, not have to pay a fee for it.
And the $1 shithead tier is still here to this day.
And that's how the general tier was started, man.
That's how it became. And then we did that about 6 months.
So then we did that, yeah, and then going into the start of the 22 season, Ray was one of our patrons.
Not 22 season.
Yeah.
We did
the year 22. So the calendar year of 22.
Yeah,
so we did our first one like basically January, whatever.
Yeah.
It was the end of the 21 calendar year, yes.
Yep. And Ray hit us up and was like, "Hey, you guys like do a podcast for me?" And I thought he was full of shit. No, I listen to you. You guys are good. You guys are good. You got something. And I'm like, you don't listen to us. Oh yeah, I do. I'm like, okay, let me hit up Adam.
Well, I believe that part. I believe that he listened to us. What I didn't believe was like, all right, man, you come do a podcast with us, you could grow. Like we'll pay you anything for an episode. I'm like, all right, we're in. Like, I mean, I didn't even think I'd be able to do one on Destination Debbie, let alone he's going to pay us. So
no,
yeah, that was that's how we started doing that. And then we came out and quarterback. We had to go right at the QBs, the 22 quarterbacks.
22 QB class, baby.
We didn't. I won't say we defended them per se. We just asked a kind of a question, essentially defending them. Like, are you sure you want to fade the whole class? And Mike had a lot of Sam Howell love that kind of bled over into all the other quarterbacks. It was not a great player discussion, let's call it.
No, it was horrible.
It was awful.
It was terrible. It's just a couple guys trying to figure it out, and it's just been a growing experience from then. Ended up doing a trade show with Ray where the first time on public record you can find me arguing for T. Higgins, and I still argue for T. Higgins to this day.
Barely. He wanted me to accept that trade just now. Sheesh, you want me to send my T away?
I didn't say...
Come on. Lean into it.
I'm not leaning into it. But, yeah, that's kind of how it just grew, and then, Ray pushed us to do the trade show on our own, take over for him and do it, and then he pushed us to, hey, you guys should put this on your own YouTube, like figure it out. At that point, I think we were doing AMAs, but it might have been with 5 people, 6 people, or we're doing mock drafts.
Yeah, we started with mock drafts.
No thumbnails, nothing, just the basics, right? Everything that we've done, we take the time to learn from much smarter people and try to figure it out. And then, I think probably the best thing is I remember doing those podcasts, those early ones, even on Patreon, and just the hours it would take me to edit the audio.
Oh yeah.
And now, like I do a 40 chess pod, and it's maybe 3 minutes of audio editing where it's intro, outro, faded perfectly,
clean up any mess ups that we knew of, and that's it. Fire it off.
That's it. And I think about same way when we first started doing like recorded video content, doing live content is like, just get on here, don't screw up too bad, or you're gonna get canceled. But there's no real editing. And
also, if you do, it's live, so it is what it is, right?
Which we do quite a bit. Can't do nothing about it. But when you first started to do recorded, and you were figuring out how to do all the video editing and how long it would take, it's been a crazy journey from where we started to where we are now.
And to speak about a year ago exactly, so Mike's coming to the expo. It's literally 20 minutes, 25 minutes from where I'm at. This whole time I'm thinking, man, I can't believe I didn't know this was a thing. Right. How did I not go to this? But I'm all excited. Mike's coming. We're going to meet Ray. We're going to meet everybody. And
for the first time in person, right?
Yeah. So he's coming to my house, and I'm just excited for this thing. And then I think, wait a minute. Like, we're going to do all of our content before we go. So, I don't have any equipment for you other than what I have. So we're talking and passing this mic right over there. We're not even passing. I kind of say that, but, like, it's just sat in the middle. And
literally,
it was on an arm that not quite as flexible as this, but, like, we didn't even move it. It sat there, and we kind of.
I'm like way leaned over.
Yeah, it's like when he first wins that race, he's talking all quiet into it. He's leaning into it. Doesn't know what to say. And the production quality is bad, but that's how the casting couch was started. So I have no chair. I don't even have a chair for him, a computer chair, nothing. So we had just moved into the house and pulled this sucker over, and here we go, the casting couch, man.
The casting couch was bored.
Yep. This time I at least got Mike his own mic, you know.
I did. I got my own mic. I don't have to lean too far.
I basically wanted to highlight the errors, but also make sure that, you know, this time you can hear Mike's terrible takes, you know, and my terrible takes. You can at least hear what we say. But that's how it started, how we got to where we're at.
I think it's because I got bad breath, right? You didn't want me to lead it in too much. You
Well,
want to smell it.
Part of it, but
You just smelled my ass.
yeah, well, sheesh.
That
was
toilet,
rough, man.
that
Rough.
toilet will never be the same again. And I apologize.
Dude, rough. But yeah, so that's kind of how we got here.
You kept me up till 5 a.m. drinking. What do you expect?
5:30, man. Well, we're up with each other all the time drinking. I just didn't realize you were gonna. You never get that in person.
And I made it
Pretty
till
potent.
like 6 p.m. today, and the only sustenance I put in my body was shrimp tacos. So probably not the greatest.
Apparently, I'm out here. We're just talking. I'm missing super chats.
We gotta get caught up, man.
I know. So let's do that. Appreciate the question, Joka, though. Fun to go down memory lane. From Darth Dookie. What's up, fellas? It's that time of the year, baby. LFG. 10-team start 8, PPR 1 QB. Darth, you've got to have been around because I know why you asked this in a super chat. Mike would ask me to skip this question. I'm just playing. I like it, though. All right, 10-team start 8, 1 quarterback. Would you trade London for Addison in a future first? He's shy on draft capital. What's the difference between London and Addison in a league where quarterbacks don't really matter other than the high-end ones?
More than a random first, in my opinion.
Do you think that's smart play, though, to take the first and just hope and trade assets away? Or do you think London can actually become a difference maker in a 10-team start 8 is the question. For me, I guess. Because I agree with you on face value, dynasty value. Like Addison is light with a first. But the question is, do you think London actually makes the wide receivers that matter tier?
I think if you were to tell me a scenario where in the 10-team start 8, right, where you're studs and duds, like who's more likely to ever ascend into that territory of being that elite difference maker?
No question.
It's a long shot for Jordan Addison being the number 2 with Justin Jefferson. Like it's a long shot.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like it's enough with the first.
I think I probably need a. Because here's the thing I think that we have to remember in this format. There's not that many players that are going to start every single week. This is
80,
where
80 to be exact.
Well, right, but like
you like that math, don't you?
That's mathing.
10 times 8, 80.
Did you do that on your hands?
Yeah, and
Wow.
toes.
And toes. What you can't do is be like, add this in too. Like, this is a league where you don't want to just start getting nickeled and dimed because all that other stuff that you think has value in other leagues doesn't matter here. I think you just got to shoot higher. It's like not typically the trade I want to make. Here's what I would say about this. I want to know, does that first have potential to be in the top 5?
Yeah.
If you want to bet against a team, I would take a trade like this in this format because I think both of these guys, although I lean London, could end up being in 3 years from now. They're not going to make the league difference makers list. You know what I mean?
Equally
mid.
Meh. Yeah.
Mid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I'm with you.
Shane Joe, congrats, boys, on going solo. Put the cash towards another bottle for Mike. I mean,
that might buy 2 right there, actually. Thanks, Shane.
Well,
I think he just paid for both of them.
I got to check the receipts, but it's close.
Greg was on here. What was I arguing too? Like,
who?
When my cousin Greg was on here, I was like, "Nah, it's mid shelf, boys. It's mid shelf."
I was there. I think Mike's having a hard time with
coping.
Low and high. It was on the bottom shelf.
What? Come on.
I'm just facts are facts.
Mid shelf.
Yeah, appreciate it, Shane. Thanks for the super chat too, by the way.
Placement.
Hold on. Before I get to this other super chat, I wanted to get to a question. Okay, here. What's the end goal for the 4D Chess podcast? The end goal to me assumes that like there's an end. Like for us, it's to do Dynasty content and do what we love. Like the whole reason we started this, and maybe I'm wrong. I think what separates us from some people that do content out there is like this. If you told me right now that like Shane's gonna give me a trillion of those $10, right? We're going to we have all the money we want. I'd be doing this.
I still would, yes.
This is actually what I would do. I would do this, and this is, so there's not really like a end goal per se, right? It's this is what we want to continue to do. We want to evolve, get better. We want to make it a better podcast. We want to help people make better trades unless they're with me. And, that's it.
Yeah.
There's not really an end goal per se. It's a constantly get better and something we do until there's more than just, 60 people that listen to it.
I think for me especially, I won't speak for you on this, but we're pretty in lockstep with it, where I think that I just enjoy doing it. Like, I just enjoy talking about Dynasty and theorizing and strategizing how to get better. And for one, I enjoy playing the game. Like, you come to me and you're like, I got a $50 12-team best ball, startup. Even though I probably should tell you no, like, I have a hard time going, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah,
Say
gotcha.
less.
Right.
You hit all the things. Like, I will tell you no if it's a lineup league, just because I know time constraints, and I can't do that to the entire league by maybe missing out on setting a lineup on Sunday because I'm doing content or I'm busy doing something else. But if it's like, hey, man, all you got to do is come on, draft, run the team, make your trades, do all the things you like. Like, you hit 12-team best ball and the scoring's not like super dumb or crazy where I go, I don't think I enjoy this. I'm in, and I just keep doing it because I like playing in leagues, right? I mean, doing underdog drafts are fun, or, my home league redraft league is fun, but my passion has always been Dynasty football, and this is why I do 30-some leagues. And while I did cut out and pay for and leave some lineup leagues this year because I knew time constraint-wise, I probably replaced them with 15 new Dynasty best ball startups, right? It's like, I'm not saying I don't like it anymore. I don't have a passion for it. I still have a damn passion for it. And even if even if I was a millionaire, Adam, and lived comfortably, houses paid for, cars paid for, right? Me and the wife never got to work again. I don't have to really worry about money. You know what I'd still be doing in my free time? Playing Dynasty football. And it might be $100 leagues.
Now,
it might be $200 leagues, but I'd probably still have a ton of $50 leagues, not for the money, but because I'm like, I just really like playing Dynasty football.
Yeah, and now, not just that, you would be relentlessly doing content anytime you wanted to do something. Like, that's would be what you would choose to do.
On a whim, right? I don't have to worry about, am I going to work tomorrow? I can stay up.
Well, you are. It's just right here,
Yeah, I can stay up and do this stream for another 3 hours. I'll be fine.
Yep. All right. Robo Chris, appreciate it, man. What's going on, fellas? Been a while since I was able to catch a live. Congrats on the growth of South Harmon brand. Appreciate you, man. Robo Chris, love him. Survives tier member. Good guy, man. Good guy. So appreciate you hopping on.
Thank you.
Fizzle, I meant. Fizzle. So you got to catch it on the South Harmon podcast. Glad you're here today.
We have our own podcast feed, right?
Yep.
South Harmon Dynasty Football. It's where America's Game podcast goes up.
You can catch it on both, though.
As I get better and stop being a piece of shit.
Mike's a piece of shit that we're trying to get to be a shithead. We're gonna get him there.
But like, I have a deadline now. Eric's podcast comes out every Thursday morning, right? Midnight drops. It's available in the audio form. The YouTube form for that, we get that Thursday night will come out. But 40, still the same thing, Adam. We'll probably still drop it on Fridays.
Yep.
I think is always kind of a good day for it.
Yeah, nothing's changing. No time, nothing.
Yeah, we can't get rid of the hashtag, Fridays are for 4D.
It's Fizzle Fridays, man.
It's Fizzle Fridays, man.
Yep.
Fizzle Fridays. So it'll still be on Fridays. It'll be on our podcast feed. But we'll also do stuff on YouTube. And if you're a Patreon, like I said, we might do it on Wednesday night or Thursday night.
I think, you know what? Speaking of shit and shitheads, I think Christian has a pretty good and fair point about how he feels about this. I'm not going to speak on it. I'm going to let the comment just be there and Mike have his says on.
Yeah. I gotta get some more booze in me, and then we might. You forgot to give me the chain. That's the thing.
Well,
that was my safety net.
See, it's the Svedka. I get the Svedka. It's never enough with this guy.
Never
all right,
enough.
I love him to death, but man, how drunk should I be getting off the plane tomorrow? Dr. B. Harris, how drunk would you prefer to be getting off the plane? And then answer that question, and then say more.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
You just gotta be coherent enough to find your way to the shit school.
I mean, I've taken care of things for Mike where he doesn't know where to go. We'll handle it. We'll get you there. Just
Yeah.
preferably be not so drunk that you don't know how to get where you need to go. Not gonna lie, I was freaked out when Mike hit it at things ending. Hype 40 continues. 40's never going anywhere, Castle Black. Never ever gonna go anywhere.
It was just more, conflicted on it, right? You know, like I said, when you start somewhere, and I'm forever grateful to Ray for taking the opportunity and giving us the chance to grow this thing. And Adam and I both, like in our wildest dreams, wouldn't think that we're where we're at right now, right? Everything has been a pipe dream. We like to sit and bullshit, and we still do now, about like where this could go. And like we bullshit on the Underdog stream, like, this is the 3 million winner right here, Adam. How you spending your 3 million?
Forget what's on camera. Mike and I are sitting here. He's on the casting couch at 5:30 in the morning, just talking.
Right.
Essentially, all things Dynasty content, everything like that. We could just do it.
So to start from there and like get propelled and the wildfire almost. We have met so many incredible people and so many of you who are watching that support us from day one and migrated or found your way over, or whether it was through Destination Devi or you just happened to hear somebody else talk about it, or maybe it was one of them QB Horde episodes or the QB Horde tweet that got you here, whatever it is.
Stop
to where we are now. And this is all just built on the back of, listen, we didn't have an end goal. We didn't ever say that we were going to, we wanted to get to this level.
Sure.
Or we didn't have a mountaintop to reach. All we said is we're just going to work. We're going to try to get better. We're going to be ourselves always, and we're going to enjoy it. And the reason that we can put some passion into it, or you guys feel it, I have no idea why you rock with us, but I think it's because we try to keep it honest. Like we try to keep it ourselves.
There you go. There's been a lot of this type chat, so I put this one up, though. Best thing Mike and Adam do is actually talk to you and run leagues you can play with them in. Makes a community. If y'all are not in leagues with either of them, get in some. Yeah, man. I don't know what my league number is anymore, Mike. It
just gets big.
I know it's over 30. I know it's going to probably be more than that before the season starts.
Right.
But, yeah, like, you can get in the league with us. I'm not going to say anytime, but how many startups we've done this offseason? I don't know counts of that either. Like, there's plenty of opportunities. If you want to play in a league with us, we will play. We're going to keep growing our league portfolios.
Listen, this is one of the greatest things about having Eric over here with us now. Is Eric is also commissions a ton of leagues. Like he's got a.
And if you don't want to do our best ball format, which that's all Mike and I do, he'll probably commission some of those.
He'll probably get you some stuff, and if you like MFL, I'm sure he'll bring you on board there. But just the fact to have another resource besides you or I, where you can put together a league, manage it, and run it, and I go, I can just kind of be a guy in this league. I don't have to add to my plate in case somebody missed drafts or whatever. I got somebody else to kind of do it.
Yep.
It's good stuff, man. Thanks, Shane.
Yeah, Clay did say in the chat he's running this. We're microchipping Shane and Kitten. I'm telling you, man, like you're not going to see it on camera, but you would love to have a movie of what's going to happen for the next 3-4 days, man.
I mean, you got a small kid. She's not like quite walking on her own yet, but I don't know if in your baby shower stuff, if they got you one of those little harnesses with the leash on it. If we got one of those, we could just pop it on Shane.
But listen, you're gonna microchip him. You would love to be like, if I could have a drone just following around, just seeing it. I get to be that person.
If we want to be really safe, I'll wear a harness too, and we can just strap ourselves together.
It's gonna be we kind of jokingly started this. We didn't think it was actually going to be something with the following. So
you might
the shit show. I mean, this is going to be the real live shit show. Man.
You might miss out on where Shane is, but you sure as fuck ain't gonna miss where I am.
I ain't missing out on either.
I have no problem making a scene or being the loudest one there. So
that is true. Now that you guys are in the same house, how long will this show be tonight?
I can't stay till 5 a.m.
So, Fizzle, here's what I say. I could go. How long do you think you could go?
Until my bladder gives out.
Well, no, there's a bathroom. He already knows very well where it is. If one of us stays, it's pretty easy for a little bit. How long could we go, do you think?
How long could we go? Whew. I wouldn't put it.
I would say until the people stop like really asking questions. Like if you at that point, we'd probably cut it off, right? But like, we're not going to go anything crazy. I just hypothetically.
Yeah. Oh shit, we did day 3 of the NFL draft stream. If anybody tuned into that.
Yeah.
How much shit is there to talk about?
Speaking about Destination Debbie, we did. I think it was basically 20 hours in 3 days. Yeah. I mean, you guys want to know,
but day 3 itself is 7 hours plus.
Yeah, and you guys want to know, like, sometimes when Mike and I are having little jabs at each other, do 20 hours of content with Mike and tell me you don't want to give him a bear hug, all right? Take a little life out of him, a little air out of his lungs.
It won't be no 5 a.m., that's for sure.
Nah, it's 10:21 right now.
We still got to edit Eric's pod and get it up by midnight. I already made that promise.
Oh, ooh. Well, we'll get that. The audio you can rip and put out pretty fast, all right. We got an hour and 40 still on that.
I'm just saying.
Oh, you see what he's doing?
Oh,
you see what he's doing? I'm out here saying, listen, the people want us. They're clamoring for the casting couch. Mike's out here looking at me like, giving me the eye. It's time to cut this off. Like, let's.
Come on.
I got to do the podcast, man. Let's get out of here.
I got responsibilities.
Have some respect for us. All right? Yes, you did, and lots of drinks. You need to have Fizzle call in tonight. Hey, Fizzle, call in. We'll put you on. Absolutely. We're gonna do this too. I think. I don't know. We don't have anything planned, but I have. This whole setup is took a while to get done. I wanted to make sure, one, that we had a fire looking setup, but two, that mainly the casting couch was featured.
Right.
You know, so it was I had to craftily figure out how do I make sure that you could see it well.
Yeah. But
it looks good, and we have. There's a ton of equipment here. I got a bunch of new mics over there. We're gonna have all kinds of equipment at the shit B&B for some off the cuff, like, you know, shows and stuff. So just stay tapped into the YouTube feed. There might be a random live that comes available. We're gonna be guesting. We're gonna do a show with Cody from the Fantasy Draft Room while there. So the expo, I think, will bring some pretty cool collabing too.
We'll definitely have some content. These next few days. That's for
Are you going to do that on your new stream, the NFL Draft? No, we haven't talked about that. I mean, Ray and I kind of said, like, I was like, we're still down to collab, but we're on good terms. We may do it over there. We may do it on ours. That's so far out. We got the season to figure out. Right. I don't. That question hasn't been answered. I don't see why we can't do it over there, but we don't know the answer, honestly. I don't think, Mike.
Yeah, too soon to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that stuff too. Even these the last 2 that we do, a lot of those.
They came. We thought we'd do them, but they came. We weren't sure. Like, Ray almost was at the draft this year. Yeah. Right. Like, there's just. Don't get it twisted. It's not like we're the only ones just growing. Like, we don't actually know what even DD's where he's going to be, what they're doing. I mean, so I don't actually know the answer to that question.
Yep.
Very well could be over there, could be here. You will know though before the draft. Just we will make sure you are here.
We can tell you though the start sit show that we did there last year, that'll be on our stream all season long. So every Sunday you can tap in here for that.
Hey, Fizzle's out here spoiling stuff, but any show you guys need an intro for, holla at your boy. I got you covered. Always love to start my boy shows off right. I'll just tell you, Fizzle. One morning I wake up, and I'm kind of going through my emails. Some emails that I have tried to cleaned up, like I don't give this one to everyone. I'm like looking through. I'm like, I got an email from Fizzle Dallas. Like, all right, what's this about? And I see the MP3 file, get all excited, and so I listened to it. He did a new intro for us, and I'm just like, man, this is awesome. So I like immediately go Discord, tear down, send. I checked my Twitter after this, and he sent me all this stuff, and he's like, hey man, I dropped that. Blah, blah. Just do me a favor. I sent Mike this one first last time. Just listen to it, but then wait until Mike gets to Ohio and play it for him there. And I'm like, shit, I already sent it to Mike. So I go in and I delete it real fast, and I'm like, Mike, did you get that message? And he comes in like an hour later. What message?
What message?
Oh, my bad. I think I hit something. I tried to play it off, and I played it for him eventually when he got in the car yesterday, and he was loving it. So
incredible, incredible work, Fizzle, man. That was a great one. I was dying in the car. I've only heard it one time, but we'll put that on repeat.
It'll be on one of the shows at some point.
Yes. Yeah.
So up to 2, man. Oh yeah. By the way, speaking of that, I'm gonna be sure to get on a mic with you boys this weekend. Cool. We'll do we'll bring a Fizzle. People are asking, can he call in? We'll just bring him on live at the shit house. Right. That's the type of stuff I want to do at the shit house. I think it'll be fun. Nothing's scheduled, right? Like, I don't want to have to feel like we at 10 o'clock on this day we got to do something when we might have other things to go to. But if we're all hanging out,
right,
while we're bullshitting, let's maybe see if we put something together.
There's only 3 things I got planned that I'm making it to.
Oh no.
Well, the party Friday night, the opening party, which means I got to get to the check-in at some point during Friday to get your wristbands and your swag bag and the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Saturday night party, which is the big one, and then Sunday, we're going to make it to the expo, with more than 3 minutes left to go.
Yeah, we are. Do we bring out the banner?
You got to come to the expo to see it.
All right, fair enough.
It's a treat for all those people.
You got to be there to see it,
Maybe if you're lucky, I'll put something.
It's like the old days, man. There wasn't just film. You had to go watch Wilt score 100. Now that game actually, there's like weird clips, but you had to go watch it to see it.
Is there any footage from that game?
There is. It's like very small amounts, and it's like kind of, as you'd imagine, oddly put together. It's not like crisp.
So maybe it's a conspiracy theory and it never really happened.
Well, it's. I got a little bit of clips, but who knows?
Who knows?
All I got is a picture of a guy holding 100 and
that's all I know.
Crayola marker,
So maybe Kobe's the top scorer.
Well, here's what I do know is Jordan had the best career of all time.
We're gonna fight before this is over.
I'm waiting for it. I hope so.
Oh, we wrestling after this, man. You going down?
I thought we're fighting. What's wrestling?
Well, fighting is wrestling. I'm not talking.
Not with me. I think I'm letting your big bare ass get me to the ground. We ain't going to the ground, man. I know where I'm gonna lose.
You let me close that distance, it's over for you.
Listen, why do you think there's some gap? You stay on that counseling couch, man.
You better use that jab.
Stay away from me. I got long arms. What's happening? What is the actual case for QJ over Zay? Quentin Johnston behind Keenan, Mike Will, Eckler, and worse offense with less efficient quarterback. Why are Lamar's stats with Demarcus Robinson as his wide receiver 1 the deciding factor? I think I've been missing some context. I thought this was just a question. I feel like this has got to be going back and forth with people in the chat. Am I wrong?
Maybe not.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, it's the same question.
No.
I have no idea what Demarcus Robinson's name's even a part of this for.
What's the case for Zay over QJ? Or is it?
But he corrected it and said it's QJ over Zay.
QJ over Zay.
Well, here let me start from the beginning.
Okay.
Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, you're talking about, we are assuming if on this channel we're talking Dynasty. So, like, first and foremost, let's even say they both are playing good and healthy this whole year. Mm-hmm. We're talking Dynasty with Quentin Johnston. There's also what I just mentioned. Keenan Allen is over 30. He's had plenty of injury history. And Mike Williams to the same degree. So those guys are not guaranteed to be with Herbert for forever.
Approaching 30 with plenty of injury history.
and not as much dynasty name value anymore. Eckler is already on record in this current running back market of wanting pay increase and is also getting older. He may be gone. So like I'm not in dynasty going to – I think we've seen this where we overdo the situation, and especially when we're talking like – The situation you want to love in L.A. is Herbert.
Yes.
So the all the pieces around him, especially when they're that type of age,
yes,
is not going to sway me too much from him. So
I wouldn't say it's a worse offense. So like, what makes it worse than Baltimore's offense?
Well, it's definitely not for a receiver.
No.
But I think what the difference is the things in the way, I guess, are probably what he's saying is worse. Now, but for Zay, he's got Andrews in the way. Lamar's supported 2 top 10 pass target guys, though, with Hollywood Brown. Bateman. But, like, is there a clear path for Zay? Maybe. But does that mean Quentin Johnston definitely needs to go behind Zay Flowers? Not for me.
I put Quentin Johnston above Zay.
So do I.
For the simple fact, like, I love Zay. If you watch anything I do when I'm at home, I got a signed Zay Flowers helmet in the background. The problem remains the fact that he ain't getting any taller. He ain't hitting a growth spurt, man, and those have always kind of been risky bets to bet on guys of that height. Like, I love Rondell Moore to death, but Adam, where's he at now? Like, what's he really worth in Dynasty? Has he ever become what we thought he was going to be with his ridiculous freshman season.
The only thing saving him from roster clogger is Mike, apparently. Though.
Apparently, I'm the only one booing him up, so it's just tough when you're that small. Like, you can look as great as you want in one-on-ones, but one-on-ones are designed, with the advantage to the wide receiver, almost always.
Yeah.
What happens when you get in the game? Like, can you get open in a phone booth? Like, can you do that consistently? Can you be physical enough or win those contested catches when you need to?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm not betting against Zay. I'm just saying that the odds generally don't favor it. And, like, he's got to be the one to kind of prove us wrong on the height thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I would say, but at the same time, because I agree with that, by the way. I'm not going to disagree with that statement. But at the same time, the Quentin Johnson mold, I think that people are chasing, is also becoming less of a thing that we see prevalent in the NFL, too, where it's like you're this big body receiver.
I don't think he's really. I mean, he's more of in the CeeDee Lamb frame than he is anything else.
People think that he's this jump ball guy, though. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'll tell you this, though, he at least has the quarterback that can do that. He's got Herbert. I think right now, if you told me right now, if I'm just going to say these wide receivers are independent of each other,
right,
I'd lean Herbert over Lamar just for who I'd rather throw him the football. But there's not that much about either one of these situations that makes me think I got to have this guy, I got to have that guy. I just personally think with the name cachet and with the quarterback of Herbert, that's why I put him slightly ahead of Zay. But if you personally in your process have Zay ahead of QJ, I'm not going to be like, you're crazy. I mean, it's not that big of a difference personally for me.
No, if you put Zay ahead of Addison too, I wouldn't.
If you swapped any one of those three in any order, I'm not going to fight you.
Correct. The only one I would fight you on is JSN. Like,
well, that's where we stop, just because Mike knows it. They came from Ohio State.
Oh my gosh.
And he loves them, man. He loves Chris Olave. I mean, Mike's on record, man. Ohio State. You know?
Oh man, I can't take you.
The casting couch is the destination. We are finally here. This needs to be put on an intro somewhere. Fizzle, we might have to hook up for this. Well done, JB. Damn, I was not expecting JB to like be lurking and just throw a fire comment like that in there. Damn, that was pretty nice, man. Mike's already he's upset, man. He doesn't like the banter in person. We stayed up too late talking last night, I think is the problem.
No.
Can I give absurd false medical advice on 4D pods?
If you'd like.
After this Friday, no. No, you can't do it. If you want to come on a 4D pod and give anything, hopefully it's Dynasty content, but yes, it's always welcomed on our stuff.
We could have 4D After Dark.
We will have some 4D After Dark.
Dr. Reed could be featured on the 4D outtakes.
I mean, he's already like we could after that we probably could do a whole Dr. B like short too, where we just go through the Savage semester and all the stuff he said in there. Right. Throw in this, be fire. I like that.
What does Rip call him? Nurse B. Harris.
Come on, man.
I know.
I love that. Rip is going to probably he's going to be a showstopper at this.
We need a microchip for Rip. Make sure that
I got a bunch of microphones. I needed a microchip. I messed that up.
You're close. We need to tag him.
All right. Deep wide receiver sleepers. Which two would you hold in leagues? Puka Nacua, Michael Wilson, Justin Ross, Xavier Hutchinson, Jason Brownlee, DeMario Douglas. We got JB in the house. A year ago, I was telling him, unfortunately for them, Justin Ross is over. He's got a resurgence here. What's your take? Who are the two? Is Justin Ross there? JB, is Justin Ross part of the two you're taking here?
Lineup leagues, none of them.
Well, yeah, I'm just answering the question as of in lineup. But in lineup, you can't. He's saying hold two. If you hold Fizzle, if you want roster construction, we can give it to you. You know not to roster too many of these receivers, if any, in lineup leagues. So we'll start there. Right. Let's preface with that.
They're all interesting.
Now that's out of the way. Which one of these two are you picking?
If I got to rank them most interesting, Michael Wilson, Justin Ross.
No, not interested in Puka Nacua at all.
No.
Zero interest. Like you don't roster him.
He'd probably be third on the list.
I was gonna say he's got to be close to third, man.
And then
I'm personally not really buying this Brownlee stuff.
No,
Are you?
No, I'd be interested in Xavier Hutchinson, and then Pop Douglas, and Brownlee would actually probably be dead last for me.
I think for me,
Most interesting, Justin Ross.
Is he?
Michael Wilson, those are pretty close.
Can I tell you my now that like Ross is actually starting to look more into form,
and it's not just curl routes on air.
I mean, I still think, speaking of Wilt Chamberlain, the film we have on Justin Ross doing good things in the NFL is I think we have more on Wilt's 100-point game.
Might.
So I'm still like very this is conjecture season. Y'all be very careful. My biggest problem with him now, though, is let's even say that he carves out himself a nice little role in KC.
Okay.
I think let's talk about Jordan, because everybody was, who's the next Jordan? Who's the next Jordan? Who's the next Jordan? Well, sometimes, like when Tyreek Hill left, Patrick Mahomes might just be so damn good that there is no alpha. There is no guy that's going to come forward and take over this role.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that people are chasing with the KC offense that may not even exist on their roster in any capacity.
Because we've heard good things about all the wide receivers, right?
Sure have.
Except for Kadarius Toney.
I mean, you guys remember they took Rashee Rice, right? Like,
but I've heard good things about him. I've seen nice clips about him. I'm just saying things about
they can't all be top 24 receivers in Dynasty or for the season. Like, sometimes just I think the offense is great. Everybody wants KC offense, but sometimes it's like, let's just calm down. I don't even know if there's a offensive role to carve in that, because I think Mahomes can throw to anybody and make them good in the play. So
it's pretty clear for me, though, because of the Justin Ross thing. Michael Wilson, though, also, like, that is another one I'm highly interested in.
I think, you hit what I was going to say. The three that I would be more interested on this list than any is Nakua, Wilson, and Justin Ross. I can already get the other three out of that. I honestly don't know that I can pick two out of those. I would just decide, like, it would be my roster shit. Like, which ones do I need and which ones do I not? I think they're all the same bet for me. Like, they're all the same idea.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Brownlee, Douglas, and Hutchinson, I'm just not loving anything about it personally. But
no. I'm kind of good.
I'm really questioning the community's process. Lamar has a higher career passer rating than Herbert with a 10th of the surrounding talent. Why is there such a gap between QJ and Zay? Well, I think this is actually, I'm so glad you worded it this way, because it helps me answer the way I wanted to and also show you why you should. Anytime you get this and you are, because I'll tell you, Antonio Gibson, Mike, for you talked about on this was a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
What I've learned, I won't speak for Mike. He's right here. He's actually physically right here. So I'll let him speak this time. But what I've learned is when you want to go, all right, man, you guys are crazy, I'm going to fight this. When the community values one thing very strongly in a manner, right, and you're going to fight this, you're going to Jon Snow it. If you're right, the community's going to take a while to come back around to the side you're on. And that's going to feel good. But the reality is they are already telling you what they want to do and how they want to view a player and how they want to value a player. So, for example, whatever you think about Baltimore's offense, Lamar, remove Mike from the situation. Yep. Think about it from that lens. They're already telling you that they think Zay is not, because of the landing spot, all these things, he's not that good. So if Zay has a slow rookie season, my point is going to be this. Zay will be forgotten. Understand, they're ready to write him off already, yes. Kind of, right? Yeah. They're signaling to you that we don't really believe in this thing.
Yes.
That value insulation for a young player is massive. So just understand that because it's Quentin Johnson, he went to the Chargers, and people believe in the narratives with Herbert. Forget about the community's process. You can have your own. The community's process doesn't really matter, but the way that the community values players absolutely does. So the fact that that's there, I think Quentin Johnson, unless he like completely flops, they'll buy in because of all the stuff he said in the question. Mm-hmm. Keenan Allen's there. Oh, well, we'll give him a pass because Allen and Williams and Eckler were there. That's where, don't buy so much into fighting it. Like, where does the value insulation lie? Where can I play the edges up on that?
The only thing about that, like the response there where I said, like it's all just focused on what passer rating.
Oh, for sure. Well, no, I get that point. Yeah. I was talking about the bigger question.
But bigger as a whole, I'm with you on that one.
Yep.
But anytime you try to put out one single stat, like
I'm not going down the line of like fighting Lamar and Herbert, who's better for fantasy. No. Like I want them both. I would be fine with my receivers catching from either one of those guys.
Correct. Same tier for me. So.
Right. So.
Which also, when you're talking QJ and Zay, same tier for
Lamar
me.
is the statistically more efficient passer. But that, to me, doesn't mean that I want to have guaranteed my receiver to play for Lamar than I do Herbert.
No.
It just doesn't. That's not like how that correlates for me in fantasy football.
No. The efficiency part, like.
Yeah.
I mean, Mac Jones had one of the most historically efficient rookie seasons of all time. And kind of look where we're at with him now.
Uh-oh. Rambo, I'll tell you this, man. The trade show is live Saturday. It's already done. He's believing the hype, man.
Could he produce tight end 1 numbers, which means he's just got to be a top 12
in
tight
this
end.
in this season. Could he? How hard is it to be a top 12 tight end?
That's the thing.
How many guys do you think could be a top 12 tight end this year?
25.
Yeah, comfortably. Well,
25.
In that 25 last year, would you have included Tyler Conklin?
No, I would not.
Would you have included Tyler Higbee?
Nope.
The list is bigger than 25. That's what we say we would put in there. Yeah. The list is long. Like, could he be a top? Of course. So that would be a win, though.
If you change this to top 6 tight end.
Am I betting on that? No chance in hell.
Correct. Me too.
Could it happen? Yeah.
Tight end 1 is a pretty low bar.
Tight end 1 on a 12-team league? Yes, I'm with you.
That's a low bar.
Let me ask this, though. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Allen Hype out of Buffalo. I'm talking to Rambo right now. Like, put it in the chat. I'm just curious, what are you believing? Because obviously there's narratives. I mean, there is I don't need narratives to see what Keep Trade Cut tells me. There is narratives. What makes you believe in Kincaid, I guess, is more of my question. Personally. Not saying you're wrong. I don't think you're right, but, like, what makes you believe?
I was riding on the plane, and the guy I was telling you about that I sat next for the whole trip, right? Even the connecting
That
flight.
is still wild.
He's a Buffalo Bills fan. And we were talking a little bit about football and different things, and he tells me I'm a Bills fan. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's kind of telling me about the Bills this season, and I'm just listening. He had no idea who the hell Dalton Kincaid was. Like, he had no idea that they drafted Dalton Kincaid. And I'm like, he's a tight end out of Utah. Like, getting a lot of hype.
You ever heard him?
I never heard
all
him.
I hear about is Dalton Kincaid.
Is he better than Dawson Knox? I'm like, well, I can't really tell you that. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. So we talk about Dalton Kincaid. I'm like, what? I'm not saying it's all Buffalo Bills fans, but we're having some pretty good conversations about other players. And he mentioned Dalton Kincaid. He's like, who the hell's that?
That is
That's amazing.
All right, so Eric has a super chat for us. Appreciate the super chat, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
Part 1, post startup 12 team, Superflex start 10, half PPR, no tight end premium. Okay. 2, trade dimes, Devontae Smith, Olave for Hurts, McLaurin, Debo. Assuming yes, replace McLaurin, thanks.
Gone.
12 team Superflex start 10, so he's going to trade away Hurt. Oh, yeah, he's getting the Hurts. Yeah.
He's trading away dimes.
Well, all I need to know.
Smitty Olave.
So I'm going to just, for myself and for everyone else here, right? 12 team Superflex start 10, half PPR, 0 tight end premium. So this already, I would look at WoRP to finalize this, but just to know, generally what this is going to do is mean receivers come down just a touch as far as what they mean to all the other positions.
In line with running backs.
Yep.
And quarterbacks.
And the tight end line is absolutely.
And no one gives a shit.
There's Kelsey and them.
Yep.
Not Kincaid.
And maybe Mark Andrews.
Yep. And then so here's the thing, right? Olave and Smith are dope, man. Like, I definitely want them comfortably and by a large margin ahead of McLaurin and Debo. But what the difference from Hurts to dimes means in Superflex is too much. I want the Hurts side, I think.
Big gap from Hurts to dimes. If I look at McLaurin or Smith or Olave, like the gap between those two, dynasty value probably favors the young guy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Production-wise, I can see a realistic scenario where McLaurin outscores both of those guys easily.
Really?
Yep.
Ooh.
Look at him last year.
I could see him outscoring Olave pretty easy. Like, I'm starting to believe that Smith is kind of like what T. Higgins is. Like, he's not going to, in this offense, be lightly past. Like
Okay.
he's top 10, 12-ish. But like just the presence of A.J. Brown, he's not going to probably ever go just bananas nuclear and get into that high-end one. Now, McLaurin's a guy that I've been believing in and year out. I still, it's kind of a tragedy because he just shows to the point of the Ohio State University for Iowa, Michael, but he doesn't have a quarterback again. He doesn't have a quarterback again, man. He's got Sam Howell, Mike's guy, but Sam Howell may not even make it through the year. We don't even know. He might have Jacoby Brissett playing for.
He didn't have a quarterback last year, and he was still pretty good.
He was, but my point is, I don't think that without a little bit of a quarterback bump, we ever see what I think is potential with him with top 12. I think he's more of like a top 24 receiver still. You know what I mean?
Whether you believe it or not, like the McLaurin and Debo are fine returns off of Smith and Olave.
I don't disagree with that point. I'm just saying I don't think that McLaurin passes both of these guys
for the massive jump that you get at the quarterback position. So
yeah, that's what I was saying too. Agreed.
Not that I hate Dimes or anything, but let's agree, Dimes is not Jalen Hurts. Period.
No,
he can't fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. It doesn't work as well when I try to insult you.
I know.
I hate it.
It's not as fun. It's because he's got a brown tea bag in him right now. What are you guys drinking this weekend? I got a bottle for both my guys when I arrive. Fizzle, I'm looking forward to it, man. As you can tell, I'm ready to drink the bourbon. It's behind me. It's over here. I got a little bit of vodka if we run out, and I'm looking forward to trying it, man. Fizzle told me he's bringing the bottle. I'm in. What about you?
I'm bringing the bottle. What am I drinking? Svedka.
It's right here. So, Svedka Citron. I can't tell you I've tried it, but Mike tells me it's good.
It's good. I like it. I really do.
I'll have some.
Yeah. So I'll probably polish this one off tonight, and then.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all. That was already. I picked that up at. You kind of like if you're looking at picking up a weight, like that felt lighter than I was expecting it.
Well,
you can't see. That's the difference in the bourbon bottles. You can always see what's in them.
Yeah.
This has this.
It's hidden, so you don't know I'm an alcoholic.
Giant label that covers everything. It's just like, oh, that was light.
Well, last night, if you noticed too, like I didn't really want to get off the casting couch when we're having our deep discussions. So I just drank straight out of the bottle.
Oh my goodness, Simon, let me get to your question. I see it. I was gonna follow up with the one we've kind of were talking about, but how far does the value installation take you with rookies? Let's say the scenario comes true and Zay starts off slow. What would be your next move if you have QJ?
Zay starts slow. You have QJ. Is QJ starting off slow too as well, or
doesn't actually say?
Like, what's the hypothetical here? Say they both start off slow.
So yeah,
you're still neutral, right?
I think this part of the conversation needs to be talked about. Honestly, I'll clarify because I don't actually know the specifics of the question. I think it was either typed wrong. I can't actually figure out what it was. If you want to put it back in, we'll answer it. But to me, I think we need to understand value installation and why JSN is in his own tier.
Yes,
JSN to me is going to get the biggest pass of all of them this year, regardless of what could or couldn't happen. JSN, if he smashes, we already all know what's happening. It's only going up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With no production at all, he's a top 12 and keep trade cut pretty easy right now.
If he had 1,100 yards,
oh my gosh,
7-8 touchdowns.
You guys think with the Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson? Okay, all right. Watch JSN, man.
Did you say if he did?
I'm telling you, with 1,100 yards, people are gonna go crazy.
Jefferson, Chase, JSN.
He's ahead of Garrett Wilson.
He jumps Garrett Wilson.
Barring Garrett Wilson doesn't actually solidify himself.
Garrett Wilson doing like 1,500 yards.
Barring he doesn't get into the next tier, which is not what people do. Okay.
But it jumps CeeDee Lamb. It jumps A.J. Brown. It jumps, old crusty Tyreek Hill. It jumps all these guys.
Right. So we already know the high ends there if he produces. But he gets more of a pass. There's going to be Tyler Lockett still was there. Geno's not the guy in the future.
Yep.
The community loves him so much that the passes are going to become more excuses, right?
JSN, if he doesn't smash, say it's 600 yards and a handful of touchdowns.
But that value installation carries to about that, right? Now, where it becomes problematic is if JSN is absolute flops. We probably hit a different discussion than people are ready to have. But even then, it's not Sky Moore. People are just like, he's done. People believe in him more than that, right?
Because he started higher.
Right, correct. But they also believe in the name. They're going to tell themselves a story.
QJ, Addison, Zay Flowers.
The next tier where they flop, they're all in that same flop range, I think, where like if they all do, let's say 300 yards or lower, whether it's injuries, whatever, they're all going to have a much different value loss than JSN.
Jalen Reagor.
Well, but even to that point, yes. But in Jalen Reagor, how many years did it take to get him to 0, though?
So he started, and it was a late first.
Justin Jefferson range.
Yep. The next year was a mid-second-ish.
Yep.
I know because I bought into Jalen Reagor's second year for a mid-second-ish just about everywhere that I could.
Oh, no.
After that, Adam, lucky if you got a third.
Right, but like my only point is that it took 3 years, really, to get to the third round
range. It took
range.
2 years of being shit to
Right.
get to the third.
After the third year, it's like, all right, now.
But that's kind of where we're at with Zay Flowers, QJ, Addison. All right, so say they have that Jalen Reagor-esque. Like next year, I would imagine people would be like, all right, mid-second. Where the Sky Moore thing was a lot more dramatic, where it was like, maybe I'll give you a late second. You know,
some of that, because I agree, by the way, you're right. What I was going to get to next is that some of that is based on situation. So I agree. Mike's right. Like these are in the same 3 tiers, but just think about it this way. Sky Moore, I think the reason that he lost so much is for the community. What was in the way of Sky Moore smashing last year? Nothing. I mean, you're not going to answer Kelsey because Kelsey can't take everything. It's just impossible. Mahomes had 5K yards, man. Like,
it feels like Travis Kelsey had 5,000 yards too.
And WoRP says he did.
WoRP
Shout out to Koopa. But no, I mean, like, there's nothing in the way of him doing anything. He did nothing. So the name cachet is not there. This is a guy that went to a small school.
Fucking Eagles in the Super Bowl on the.
He's wearing a running back's number. He went to a small school.
That number.
And people don't care. So my point is, those guys all, let's say, in that range. What you alluded to with the players, though, there's a story to be told, and there's enough name cachet. It's not super sexy, but it's the next tier to where they invested a first-round pick in him. There was stuff in his way. Mm-hmm. Herbert's there. There's a little bit more value insulation with him, I think, because of the story you can tell.
Versus
Zay Flowers. What's in his way? We don't know how many.
Versus, I would put Addison.
Yeah, outside of Jefferson, it's the same as the Chiefs last year.
Right.
What's in his way? Yeah. Right. So I think just knowing those things are like little edges of down the road. I mean, you can't control a lot of the stuff. We don't know if Zay's going to start slow. I just kind of tell stories. I mean, if Zay starts out hot, like, you would be right for taking Zay. But I in process for me, I think that you have to understand the value insulation and where the community values things.
I have no idea where they value these guys on like keep trade cut community wise. I just know personally where I rank them, and I think they're in the same tier. Like they got to be real close together.
I would bet they're not in the same tier. Let's pull it up, man.
You don't think so?
And keep trade cut, I feel like there is I'll tell you this, man. And also from DMs, one of the things I love about doing content and being like, if you're a sub to our patron for $1 a month, I'm not going to say you get every question answered, but you hit me up with a DM, or you hit me up with Twitter, I'll get to you. Like, we'll talk and we chat. I think Zay is one of the more polarizing values in what people think. Some people are really in, and I think some people don't want anything to do with him. So let's see. I would guess they're not in the same tier. I could be wrong though.
I'd be interested to see. I think they're pretty close.
I know you and I think that. I'm just saying from the perception of what the community is. Quentin Johnson. Here, check it out, man. All right, so
Addison above
17 is Jordan Addison. Quentin Johnson's at 19. And look at that. Right as I said, man, right outside the tier. I really do this. I don't just talk about it. I do this.
You're a big keep trade cut fan.
Mike needs some more drinking, man. Help him out with this fat guy.
Keep trade cut fan.
I don't know, but I do know.
On this site all the time.
You know, I talk to the people. All right.
You do.
I talk to Mike too, but I talk to the people. Zay Flowers 23. They're similar, but I'm just also for those that want to know, Zay Flowers just bumped up 18 spots.
Yeah.
Look at that. And he's still a tier behind QJ, bro. Look at that. That's insane.
He's over DJ Moore and Calvin Ridley.
I'm just saying, think about this. Whatever caused that, I don't know what caused that. Whatever did cause that, he still is outside the tier of QJ.
For now.
We're talking about right now. I can't predict the future.
Okay.
I'm just saying 18 spots ahead and he's still not in QJ's tier. Wow. That's crazy, man.
Wow. People are really high on QJ, man.
I'm telling you the reasons.
Wide receiver 19, huh?
Telling you the reasons, man. People love him some Herbie.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
Let's see if it pays off for him.
Right.
Do you not have much QJ?
I got a fair bit
I feel like
of
I feel like I was kind of pigeonholed into taking some QJ. People wouldn't let me get out of that spot.
Right.
You know?
Right. They wouldn't let us do the thing. I have quite a bit of QJ.
What is the bottle of bourbon you want to taste the most this weekend?
Ooh.
Bro,
whatever we just had down there at or you had down there, you spoke very highly of.
Well, all right. So Mike,
Gervasi.
There's a place called Gervasi in Canton. Everyone coming to the expo, you may not know anything about it, but Gervasi is this like bougie vineyard. And when he's like, you want to go meet my cousin there? I'm like, we're talking about the same place, Gervasi? And he's like, yeah. All right. So we get there first of all, and we can't even find him. There's so many different places and avenues to go. We checked every bar that wasn't the one he was
bar,
at. Yeah, bistro.
They got one downstairs. I don't even know what the hell that one was for. With outdoor seating.
Back door, outside patio. You had the Crush House?
Yeah.
The Still House?
Yeah.
Anyway, we find it, but
big place.
Gervasi's a vineyard that they do really good wine. They have their own distillery. It's new, and I'm like, oh man, they're making their own bourbon. Like I'm just. It's not that it's not going to be okay. I'm just like, I drink Buffalo Trace and Sazerac, so I'm not going to like love it. I'm going in low expectations, and it was smooth. Gervasi's bourbon was good. So I would say this: what I want to taste, like something that's not in my repertoire, like personally, like
expand your horizons.
I don't need to have. I mean, I'll drink it. You see me drink Sazerac all the time, a lot of it, but let me see what you tell me. Bring me something that I haven't tried and tell me it's good. That's what I would like.
I like it. I think just talking about that QJ Zay thing.
Yeah.
Like, I got him in the same tier, me personally. Obviously, the community does not. Back to the original question, though. Like, I think that might be something you explore. If I can get anything on top of...
I absolutely. You give me a second, I'll take the Downtier to Zay.
Yeah.
Or a... The reason I pause it
best ball league.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. The reason I paused lighter than a second is like in a 10-team lineup league we answered a question on.
Right.
Keep your fucking third. Like
that shit.
Miss me with that. Like it's gonna be league dependent past there. So
start 11, start 12 lineup league.
Here we go. You made a good point on Zay already being seen as a lower caliber asset than QJ, so his value is likely more subject to volatility. Is that value insulation alone worth taking QJ? So, like in a 1-for-1, if you're telling me I'm on the clock, I'm going to take QJ ahead of Zay for that reason, probably.
Yeah.
Like that, so to that
tiebreaker.
To that question, yes. Now, when there's pluses or we're talking a trade, that's where I think you need to know all that's at play and what's at stake really big term. Because what does that mean? A year from now, we know value insulation's a little leaning QJ, but a year from now, where Zay and QJ are going to be a lot based on what happens on the field. And we know that QJ will get a little more of a pass, but if Zay comes out and smashes, nothing's keeping him from rising.
He didn't even have to like really smash though, like 800 yards.
But smashing for him is lower because of expectations.
Right,
if he goes out and has 850 or 900, the community's already like, damn, we were wrong.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
You know what I mean? So, but it's all based on how they actually play. Woodford, I love Woodford, by the way, Clay. I'm with you.
And to be honest, I think Zay has the opportunity to produce more than QJ in year one.
He does. I think you have to realize range of outcomes too with like
Mark Andrews is good. Rashad Bateman has been efficient when healthy and on the field, but like that's still a question mark. And I buy almost nothing into OBJ.
I feel like Rambo's coming in here just trying to basically be Rambo.
No, thank you.
He's putting hot takes in our thing. You know what? Hold on, Simon. I apologize. I told you I was going to answer your question.
You could trade me straight up if you'd like. I'll send you all the Tank Dell I probably don't have.
Tune into the trade show. I lit up B Hall over Tank Dell. Simon Joseph moved 4 pieces for Waddle, then Waddle plus 3 pieces for T-Law. Oh, I thought this was a question. This is apparently this is more discussion.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what we got here. How much here we go. Let's go with this Casey question. How much fab do you spend preseason, early season, mid, late season? Assume BB, deep bench leagues. Okay, good. We're in the same lane. That's all of our leagues. I see some spending 5% every time there's a new guy.
No.
So Casey, one thing that I love that you asked this question and phrased it the way you did. In best ball, I think the way you handle your waiver wire is so much more crucial in the margins. Like
yes.
Who's good and who's in the playoffs with a hammer load of fab.
Depending on your league size. Okay.
Correct. But that's why he said deep bench leagues. That's why.
Yeah, but it doesn't even have to be just deep benches. We do that Royal Rumble, which is a 28-team 2-copy league. And Adam, I don't really know if my team's competing or not, but I was willing to trade away all my fab in a deal just to get the deal done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's fab that's got to last me throughout the entire season. But when I go on, just the way this is set up too, like full context, I fucking hate it. The way it's set up, I fucking despise it. I do. It's waivers with fab, which is awesome. But a few people whined and cried about it because somebody would get dropped on like a Friday, and they wouldn't clear waivers in time for them to be picked up on fab waiver runs for Sunday. Mm-hmm. So then after the Wednesday waiver run, it became a fucking free for all for the rest of the week, and it's like. Whoever the fuck is just sitting there at the computer at the right fucking time.
They made it a free agent. Like,
yes.
Just press the button. He's on your team.
And I fucking despise that with a passion. Like,
I think
you got to play with the locks, motherfuckers.
Dude, I think actually though in Dynasty, like if you want to do that in your redraft league with 18 bench spots or something, like 18 total spots, you're gonna start 10. You got 8 benches. Fine. Dynasty, I draw a line on that.
Yeah, no. I hate that part
because we're talking about long-term game here and so many different because of that, and you basically have to have what people want to associate as a farm squad on your team. There's too many people out there, and there's so much that goes into the waiver wire. No, you can't just add someone for free.
Yeah, no shit. So that I'm comfortable. I just dumped all my fab on whatever to get me in a trade, not to actually pick up players. Now that South Harmon Dynasty Degenerates League that we are, start 16 with 45 bench spots or whatever. Mm-hmm. Adam, I think I'm a little bit more during this off-season period where we're kind of ramping up, being a little bit more aggressive if I'm on a competing team spending my fab, just because the waiver wire is usually junk. It's pretty junk. The guys are out there. There's not a lot to choose from.
It's pretty junk. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to shoot your shot when you have the opportunity to get it, right?
I get you.
Now I will say this though: if I'm on a team that's not competing, I'm not competitive. No, fuck my fab, man. I'll blow it. The first time I think there's something worthwhile that fits my build, right? Something worthwhile I think I might be able to flip later. That is going to carry some insulated value for a while, not just the run of the mill old what's his face? Who is that? Brownlee, the wide receiver, right? The hot one, or the Jaleel McLaughlin running back. The random shit that you see trending on Twitter.
Sure.
I'm not dumping my fucking rebuilding fab load on that every single week, 5% or whatever it is. I'm good.
Yeah, but I think I don't disagree with you, by the way, but I think. I had to put Matt Dennis's on there in all caps too. I love that.
I I can't see it until I actually have to.
I know. That's why I'm you're looking at the camera, you're looking here.
Right.
This wasn't by design because I'm trying to figure out how to make this corner. I'm trying to figure out how to make this corner actually work. My basement isn't that big.
Sure it wasn't.
But now that Mike's doing it, he looks and sees what I put above his head on the screen. This is going to be a new tradition, unlike any other.
You son of a bitch.
But the bigger point is that in these leagues, having the fab at the end is different than in a lineup league.
Yes, in a best ball league, yes.
So, for example, I think what people will miss in best ball and lineup both is that, okay, so even if you're rebuilding, right, if you pick up Brownlee currently right now for a budget, you might say, oh, that's really stupid in a lineup league, but if you find the person that's going to pay you a third, that was fucking really smart.
Yeah.
That's all that takes is for that to be
yes.
really dumb to really smart.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anything other than the league mate you traded with, right?
Yeah.
So you can actualize value that didn't exist. It's a magic trick, It's a magic trick, right? That's literally what happens. But
now you see me.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Magic man.
We're idiots.
But man, I was trying to. I had a good point. No, I'm so in best ball, right? So
ruined.
Every time that you do that, you can still actualize that and have value that either you keep in your lineup or that you trade away. But one thing that you don't understand probably, and if you don't play in these leagues or haven't listened to us, is that, or someone else that could do this content on this that says the same things. The 5% you lose here, let's say you get a third. But now, when everyone else is low on funds, you can't. The magic trick there is I know exactly what I want to spend because I know what you are going to spend, and I spend $1 more.
Yes.
Every time, and now you hate me.
Yes.
And that's that look Mike's been giving me. You realize that in your leagues, you can feel it. It's something you can touch.
Well, I also like to. I've done it in a league that I won. Right, the strategy when you're competing like with like one other team or maybe say two other teams, and exactly what you're saying. Like, I got $98 of my $100 budget left. They at $5. They're
$6.
at $17.
Yep.
Right, like those two teams. So every free agent, or say they're both at $5, for example. Right, I know it.
You're at $6 every single time.
Every single time on every single free agent. Like that if I got a person on my roster I'm willing to drop, this guy's junk or he's hurt or he's not playing or whatever.
They're automatically added to the queue, and they're all 6.
I bid 6 on every single one of them.
Yep.
And then even if I don't want them, like that Saturday night, you drop their ass at 11:59 or Sunday morning. Like, I drop them. Like, you can't even pick them up on waivers. So I just blocked you for the week. Don't matter.
Yeah, but like it's funny though because that's actually the truth. And then
yes,
the thing though is that Casey, to give you context now to that question, right? So you can think they're crazy, but if they pick up a Brownlee and you think, oh, they're clowns, but they make that trade and they get a third, they're not that crazy. But the problem is in best ball here, you can control the market late, and then
yes.
The big thing is to know when your trade deadline is. So if you're in a league where it's a late trade deadline or it's off, you even as a rebuilder, you can literally pick up all those guys and dictate that they all competing pay you what you want from their roster. You've actually created currency literally in these type of league formats by doing that, and people don't even understand that.
Yeah.
So that's the big difference, Casey.
If I'm a rebuilder, I don't care. Screw that fab.
But you know what? Even then, man, you created currency. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to craftily find a way to trade those fab pickups to Mike, and
there you go.
Then we buy. All right. What's going to be at the South Harmon Table Expo? If I need to have our flyers and merch, let me know. I'm down. Fizzle, if you want to hand out stuff, you can. I mean, Mike and I have been talking about this for a while.
We get a much better looking person to hand out the stuff to.
Yeah, Fizzle, we could use you on a few levels. One,
exactly.
You're gonna have the swag that the brand needs desperately.
Yes, that I don't have.
We're gonna probably be, although we say now like we're excited for it, and we are. When we show up on Sunday at whatever time we have to be there to set up, we're gonna need a little help and assistance because Mike and I tend to drink a lot of bourbon and vodka.
No. Never.
Well, definitely not on a Saturday night
This
anyway.
is what we got Koopa for.
Yeah, but we need Fizzle there.
We do need Fizzle.
That's what I mean. I'm not saying Koopa will be there.
But you talk like we gonna set up.
Oh, Fizzle, you didn't hear that. Mike's not gonna make you set up.
I'm not making Fizzle set up.
Fizzle, just come. All right, don't hear that. And,
that's why I said Koopa.
Damn it! Why do you got to go saying stuff like that? Mike's gonna leave now. He's not coming. Y'all gonna make me set up? No, Fizzle, we're not making you set up. All right.
Not Fizzle.
No. You don't have to set up. I promise.
I want to make Fizzle do the work.
Koopa.
Koopa on the other end.
Let's see. Hold on. Buffalo Trace, nice. Hold on. High West. I actually don't know this one.
High West Midwinter Nights
Dream. Yeah. Oh no. I think I have had this. Never mind. I think I have it. Never mind. I'm tripping. The Dram. I was like, no, Dream. Yes, I've had that. It's
Dram.
Good. Well, I don't know what that is, but it was all a dream.
It was all a dram.
All right, I've got to record my damn shows for the week, then leave the airport at 3.
Ooh, 3 a.m. Yes.
Oh, I was actually thinking. I was asking Mike. I'm like, I asked everyone like, what do we have in the channel? He read it all out. I'm like, all right, so we're good. But wait, someone's getting here at 10 a.m. I didn't put it together. Yeah, that makes sense. You got to catch another plane. That is a rough early start, man.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be ready to do a podcast as soon as you touch down, I bet.
Be full of energy.
Yeah, Fizzle's ready to get Dez to sign a jersey.
Yes.
Matt, man, if you want to help out over the weekend, I mean, we don't need any help over the weekend. We got that. We got y'all on that. But the expo where it's like formal. You go to the line, you got to talk and shake hands. And I mean, I literally had my wife, the one thing, I got to shout out to her. She's out here with a paper cutter, like cutting through thousands of pieces of paper. Yeah, no, that was my, I told her you got to go back to school. She's a teacher. She took off last year. She's going back this year.
The paper cut.
You used to cut paper cut. She used to do that all the time. Like, you got to get back into it.
We get the paper cutting muscles worked out. We don't want you to pull anything first week of school.
I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it together right now. My goodness, man. All right, 10-team Superflex PPR lineup start 10. Would you trade Lamb, Roschon, and a 25-second for London 24 first? Top five, and a late second. Man, dude, I lean. Oh my gosh, the top 5 context, Toby, makes it tough.
Yep, I would.
You taking the first side?
I'll go down to London, risk it with the first.
So here's the thing about this, right? Like CeeDee Lamb, we talk about a lot in our leagues, in our context. Like CeeDee Lamb is not in the elite tier, and still in this 10 team, he's not. But like the tier 2 receivers here, all of a sudden I care about like crazy.
Yeah.
So it's tough for me to trade Lamb, but I'm gonna kind of nitpick here. I think I do want your side, the London in the first. But if you told me that's top 3, I'm definitely in. Like top 5 because it's 10 team. Like, I don't know how much it's tough. That's a tough one. I could give it. I don't care about Roschon at all. The seconds probably don't care about it all. Because here, top 5, like the quarterbacks don't even guarantee to go there. Like, and then what does the skill player look like in a 10-team league? And then do I believe London actually ascends into like top 12 points per game? I think he could. But in a 10-team league, if he doesn't, I don't want that.
It's risky.
The way I view things, I tend to lean your side. Like, I'm more comfortable taking the 2 for 1. But, Toby, I'll be honest. I think it's close. I will admit, like, this is one of the times where I don't have anything in my portfolio that's a 10-team. So, if you disagree with Mike and I, this is the time to do your thing. That's just the best I got. All right. Simon with a super chat. Yo, appreciate it, man. What a tease. Flashing my trade like that. Just kidding. You guys have always been good to me. Have a great weekend. Congrats going solo. Appreciate it. Well, then, here. If I tease you, at least drop it. You threw the money at it.
What a tease.
Man, I'm trying to keep these comments going, but like.
I see why you lose it now. Like, I'm on this end of it.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
It's like you're frantic scrolling.
Well, like, I'm just trying to go back to, I remember the place, and I'm like looking. Normally Mike's in his own setup, and he's kind of just like talking, you know. He's not looking as much in all the like studio setup stuff.
Yeah.
Now I see he's like overly looking at it, and as you can see, I'm still talking. Like I'm cueing McNutted to take over, and he's not gonna do it. Red Bull and Hennessy, that's you, buddy. I mean, I'll drink Red Bull with the best of them. Hennessy though, Red Bull, I'm good.
I never had Henny.
Really?
No.
Surprised.
Never had Henny.
What? Can I tell you, Hennessy for me was like I never liked it, but I just drank it because people were like, "You on that hen?" You know, like I'll drink it.
Like the status thing.
Yeah. Well, everyone else is drinking it. Like I mean, it's more available. Like it's not like. What do I want at the liquor store? I want Hennessy. Everybody that I was with that played basketball had hen. Like that's what they drank.
Really?
That's all they drank.
Man, I never had it. Ever.
I didn't like it at all, but I drank it.
Who
was I to pick and choose?
The only thing like I've had that I cannot stand is Jaeger.
Here we go. Fizzle's with me. Henny and Red Bull. Nah, I didn't even really like drinking Hennessy. I feel like that like combo doesn't even sound good, bro.
I don't do Jaeger.
Really?
People are like, I love some Jaeger. Gotta do some Jaeger bombs. No, man.
There was a girl at Wheeling Jesuit that
black licorice tastes like shit. Why do I want to drink it in alcohol for?
When I was at Wheeling, there was a girl that literally, bro, she in her purse carried around Jaeger and Red Bull.
Are you kidding me?
Bro, I swear to God. I swear on everything, man.
Black licorice tastes horrible. Pass.
I'll take that over the Henny, though.
Henny can't taste that bad.
You never had it.
I'm just saying. I'm just guessing. It probably don't taste as bad as black licorice.
I mean, if you made me pick, I'd probably take Henny, but I'm not.
Julian.
First time I had. Really?
That's a hotel in Dubuque.
Interesting.
Yeah. Old ass hotel in Dubuque. Old.
Wow. I think Dr. B. Harris is already doing that fraudulent stuff he was talking about. I don't think he's ever been to the Julian. I think he's giving you a little love here.
The fact that he even knew where the hell I live at and could look up the only hotel worth of shit in there.
I think he's got.
It's impressive.
I think as a doctor, he's subject to doing stuff like that. Like
Could be. I mean, that's why Rip calls him Nurse B. Harris, I think. Listen, I'm ready for Dr. B. Harris just to beat the shit out of him.
All right.
Like, I'm all here for it.
I believe people, if a team is absolute dog water, but any team could be good or bad from the middle. Yeah, I think when you start up in a startup, they all tend to be more bunched into one.
Yes.
And as you play, and if you play Dynasty appropriately, which for me will not change, I'm not saying it for everybody.
Yes.
For me, it is when we start this up, when we all put in our money, we are planning to play this until we, I'm not going to say die, but like we plan to play this for probably 10 years or something like that. Like we're planning to play this until we can't or something.
Correct.
Like there's no end in sight.
I mean,
when you ask the question about the 4D, what's the end goal? That's what it is. Like there's no end.
I don't know what it is.
It's affinity, right? And
unless I win like 6 years in a row, and then I'm like,
no, Mike.
I'll probably just bow out.
No, Mike, that's the devil talking. You play in this forever. All right?
If I won 6 years in a row, I'd probably be like, I feel bad for y'all. Keep taking all your money.
But the point is, like, if we all agree to play the game the correct way and no one's bailing, everyone's going to be closer in the middle. And then over time, like if you take over an orphan or you've been in a league for 5 years plus, you don't have to get to that, to be honest. But like 3 years, 5 years, you're going to look and be like, what are the angles now? Because it gets so further extreme. Like there's 2, 3, 4 teams that are like loaded, absolutely stacked. You're talking quarterbacks, juiced, depth, high-end players, and then that forces the teams at the bottom to already have the picks and pick those over, and the teams in kind of the middle get stuck. Point is here, closer to the startup, or if teams haven't like exploited that, I agree with this, like where it's like more of there's probably 6-8 teams that could finish anywhere.
Yeah.
But typically as you go further into the years of Dynasty, you're going to have a little more dividedness as far as what teams actually could become.
Yeah.
All right. Koopa is in the building, man. Sorry, I haven't been here for a bit. How's it going?
Yeah.
Mike?
You should be sorry.
How is it going?
It's going great. We already figured out what you're doing this weekend.
Yeah, Koopa, don't watch this back. Just make sure you're there.
Just go from here.
Get your extra loose and high way better than the Jaeger bomb.
Henny and Red Bull.
Bishop, he's out of El Paso, which is hilarious. You're not coming, are you? Because I want to see. I need to see you do this in person. I'm not saying you don't, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone with Red Bull and Jaeger. Not saying it's not a thing.
Red Bull and Henny.
I'm sorry, what did I say?
Jaeger.
See,
come on.
I'm reading comments, and
I know.
You want me to try to read and talk? It's tough. What made you guys with the South Harmon theme? I know about the movie, but what made you lock in on that name and theme for the show? It was literally the movie, and it was also like...
Because we're a shit show.
Yeah, I mean...
Shit.
This is a shit show.
Everything just fit. And it's also to... people talk about it, right? And this is also to why we're so lucky to run into somebody kind of like Ray who had the foresight and vision, because getting in the fantasy space, it is... there is quite a bit of gatekeeping, like at least a couple years ago. Like you think of the fantasy space, and the independent thing really hadn't become really big yet. Like it really hasn't grown.
There was a few people, but
there was a few, but it was, it's really ballooned since then. So also like one of the biggest speeches in that movie was like, I didn't get into a real school, a really, really good school.
Hell, I didn't get into any.
Yeah. So kind of the same thing, like just a couple guys who were starting from nothing, and we didn't get into ESPN. We didn't get into Player Profile or, one of these places. We just started on our own, and that's where South Harmon was kind of born. Was like, yeah, we'll just make this.
At the time, we hadn't even gotten into DDD.
Well, see, we just make this fake fantasy football podcast.
We'll type out a flyer.
Just where we could go with our
Just give me something that my parents will believe I got into.
Exactly. Look at me. I do fantasy football content. So everything about that movie just fits so damn well. That's why South Harmon was.
I love Fizzle. He said he corrected his typo and said, "Apologize, been drinking." Listen, you could. We get it. We've been there plenty.
Yep.
Yeah, I think honestly though, like one of the reasons I like it is on the level of on the shit shows we did, right? By the way, we're gonna get back to that. One thing I was waiting until after it dropped, but since we're doing it right now, the shit show was where it all started.
Yes.
That was the only podcast we really did.
Yes.
It would go 2.5, 3 hours because Mike and I are going to be drinking, talking. Like, who knows where it's going to go? Mm-hmm. We have an idea. We tried to show sheet our very first shit show.
Nope.
Let me tell you, that went in the trash pretty quick.
Never again.
We're not going to script this. This is unscripted, man. But it's the shit show version. So we're bringing back the shit show, like staple. Like last year, we kind of just did the. It was a little quick thing before start sit.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that's more of a prevalent thing this year. It's with start sit going on our channel too. We'll have to figure out when exactly, but. What I like about it is for everyone that is going to listen to our content and like really be in this group, right? Be on these, you're going to know exactly what we're talking about. But when you ask somebody, what is South Harmon? It doesn't know anything because that's what happens more and more. Like, what the hell is a South Harmon? Like, you guys are from Ohio and Iowa. You ain't South. What is this?
It's Harmon College sister school.
And you can literally tell them the truth because they're not going to understand a lot of the deeper level stuff that really is what makes us.
Yes.
On the surface level, listen, man, this is a place where we do not exclude. Everybody is a part of South Harmon, and as we grow, everybody can grow with us. And it's already the case. I mean, Koopa's WoRP tool, we'd only know about it because he listened to us and subbed to us, and now he's a part of the team. And it's like we all were kind of, the misfits. It's kind of like a joining up of the misfits to grow this great alliance. We're shitheads because of it, because we believe in ourselves, to the crazy degree.
You watch the movie too, like their courses. They just got like random shit, whatever
he's got a great idea. Like, all right, you guys are going to teach yourselves. Like, what do you want to learn about? And they are writing up anything. There's no idea to teach anything.
And sitting around and thinking about things. Bullshitting 101.
They got the skating ramp going on. You got to watch the movie, actually, man.
Yep.
If you guys want to know, you got to watch the movie. Fizzle's already watched it. I know he has. What do you guys do for a living? So as you can see right here, I drink bourbon.
I have a lot of my apartment smells of rich mahogany. I have many leather-bound books.
I sell labels for the current moment. So
I fix dairy equipment in a dairy. I'm a maintenance tech.
What is the company name again? Well, you don't have to tell it.
Prairie Farms.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yep. I knew we sold labels to your company. Yeah.
Sure do.
Yeah. So.
Sure do. Labels for the.
There it is, man. You're not going to get us to talk as much about it, as you can see.
Not as passionate about that.
Already, Mike's on the casting couch for the first time in his life, uncomfortable.
I was comfortable right up until then. I'm like, no, we're good. Maintenance.
Fizzle, it's funny but true. Not really, but all right. I'll tell you what. We need to. We're probably already. Oh, jeez, we're at 2 hours.
Yes, we are, and I got Eric's pod to still do.
We'll do it. Last questions. You got literally 1 or 2 minutes. We got to go. So
just messing with you.
We'll take one good one, man. We'll take one good one for the expo.
You got the best.
A tradition unlike any other, man.
Yeah.
Mike, all you got to say is fix shit. I fix shit.
I fix shit. And I know things, apparently.
Wait, now hold on, Shane. Is that are you trying to get at that in South Harmon that I fuck everything up and Mike fixes it? Because now I got it. That's my question. I fix shit.
You taking the deep dive on it.
I'm just messing.
You taking the deep dive on shit.
I'm messing with Shane.
I fix shit.
Adam, trade me Bijan when you're drunk in shit auction 5. Shit, I'll trade you Bijan right now.
Don't have to be drunk.
What do you need?
Give me them 3 first.
Let's talk. Would be hype for me personally. Stop playing. I'm here, man.
These guys always try to take advantage of us, man.
It's okay. I would too.
Try
Shit.
to take advantage of me.
That's why we got Mike the casting couch. Mike's begging for you guys to take
Mello
advantage
got me
of
the
him.
other day, though, when I was drinking and doing rankings. Got me good.
On a trade or?
Yeah.
Oh, the one.
So, like, just throw him a free George Kittle. Here you go.
Mike basically said I learned my lesson from trading Jamar Chase too late, and then did it again.
Did it again.
All right.
Again.
All right, here we go. This will be the last question. We don't have any other ones really coming in.
Ooh.
Do you have an Expo tradition? Well,
I can't say that one on there.
Well, we have multiple. We have. I would say we have a few. You know.
Well, I could say one of them we're gonna have is have a T-Rock.
That was what I was going with.
Have a T-Rock cook.
The T-Rock PG version.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we need to turn that thing on.
I got you, but I got to get this podcast.
See, he's always it's his way.
I tell you what, you get the podcast edited. I'll go out. We'll get it on.
You'll fix shit.
I'll go fix shit.
All right.
I'll do maintenance.
So
hopefully it doesn't still smell like poop.
T-Rock. We had T-Rock come out with us, and
yes,
we didn't know him all that well yet. He's like, I want to cook. I'm like, all right, well, like, what do you want to cook and all this, and we didn't even know where we were staying, what we're doing. Like, we had our own things to figure out. He kind of was adamant, like, listen, trust me, I'm gonna cook for you. I'm like, all right, man. Like, we'll see, like, how it turns out. I don't know him yet.
Yeah.
No smoker, no nothing. Best carnitas,
hands down.
Today we go to this bougie place, Gervasi. We got these shrimp tacos, right?
Yeah.
And Mike and I are both like, damn, like those were
good.
Those were damn good. And I'm like,
and all I'm thinking about is I can't wait to have T-Rex.
And we're basically like, these don't quite, but they're close. Like, they don't rival, but they're up there. They don't rival T-Rocks, though. And we're sitting here like, man, that turned into the tradition that will stay. And that's T-Rock now. We got a smoker. It's a South Harmon smoker. It's not actually ours. We own it. It's just, I don't know what brand it is, but it's T-Rock's Expo smoker for the rest of time.
Right.
That's a tradition. So, Fizzle, if you like to eat, get with T-Rock, because he'll make you whatever you want, man.
By far and away the most disappointed I've ever been in my entire life was due to T-Rock's carnitas, and not the fact that they were not good. But we went to the party. We came back from the party, and I'm like, when you've been drinking at a party, you're like, I'm hungry. And I knew we had extra carnitas from, you keep an eye on that when you're a fat guy. And I opened that fridge, and they're all gone. And I was like, I had been looking forward to them on that 35-minute drive or whatever. I was like, oh, I'm about to tear these up. Like, these leftovers ain't going to be left over no more.
See, Mike was, he was that guy in a startup that's like, I got all these later picks, and he's kind of wish casting.
Yeah.
Then you realize you get to the 10th, 11th, and like everybody picked those over, man. We went out and we're out all night. Like you ain't coming back at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and people haven't already taken all of them. They left us nothing. Man.
Put a lock on the fridge next time.
Yeah, man. That's absolutely what we know. I'll tell you this. At this point now, that's definitely a tradition. But
yep.
We'll go with that. Man.
T-Rock cooking. Yep.
Any final thoughts here, Mike?
That's all I got, man.
All right.
I got to pee really bad.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's shocking. 2 hours in, like.
No way.
All right. Well, here's what I'll say. Mike, we got to get out of here apparently, and Mike's got to pee. So we don't want him pissing all over the floor. No. Right? Like we've learned our lesson there.
Not your floor.
Well, any floor, let alone my floor.
Fine.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't okay. Now I'm confused.
Well, she wasn't mad about that. She didn't even know about that. It was the vomiting at 12:30 in the morning.
Oh.
On a work day that she wasn't very happy with. So
that's fair.
Peeing on the floor, man. That's just we mop that up.
There you go. Another thing. Tradition unlike any other. Mike pissing on the floor. We love you guys. Hey, everyone coming to the expo. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. If you're late, last minute, hit us up. If you're not, stay tuned, because what you're going to see, you're going to miss next year. We love y'all. Peace.
Out of here. Peace.